thank you guys so much for joining me. Welcome to session number 4 of the World of Aqua series. I know that this is a very exciting topic. I'm so excited to be here. But before we get started, tradition, let's go ahead and toast. Thank you for spending your Monday morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. With me, it is afternoon. So thank you for spending it with me. And I'm so excited to be here for the next hour. So cheers. Awesome. So for those of you who do not know me by now, my name is Samantha, and I'm the Artistic Director with Aqua Hair Extensions. This World of Aqua series has gone so amazing. I'm so excited with all the feedback that has come in. Thank you guys so much for all of your feedback, all of your love, all of your support. And I'm excited to continue this World of Aqua series with all of you. So we're going to dive right into it. Today we have a really fun topic that I'm so excited to discuss. It's a little bit of a controversial topic, but it's something that we definitely felt was super necessary and super important to really just dive head on into. So today we will be discussing coloring, toning, and cutting hair extensions. Okay, so those of you that have been with Aqua for quite some time, like myself, I know that we have always recommended to never, ever do any chemical processes on our hair extensions, right? And we still do not recommend that. We absolutely do not recommend ever coloring, toning, chemical processes on the hair, no lightening of the hair, no keratin treatments on the hair. Okay, as a manufacturer, we cannot recommend this because the hair extensions have already been processed, right? They have been cut and processed before they have arrived to you in your salon. Okay, yes, at Aqua, that process is very, very gentle. We have a very, very gentle process allowing for the longevity of the hair to be such a long time. And I know that is why a lot of you love Aqua hair extensions, which is why we never recommend to put any additional chemical processes on the hair. So we say if you are going to do anything, it is a deposit-only hair color. Okay, deposit-only hair color, meaning like a toning shampoo, nothing with any ammonia or any agent that will chemically alter the hair. And we still 100% stand by that. As a brand, as a manufacturer, as a company, we cannot recommend if you as a stylist or myself as a stylist chemically alter the hair in any way, meaning we are coloring, we are toning, we are doing any toning shampoos just to color, alter the hair. Okay, now, as a manufacturer, that is what we always recommend. If you were to alter the hair in any way, we cannot guarantee the results. Okay, if you're unaware, hair extensions are not actually pre-colored with hair color. Okay, it's huge. Hair extensions are not pre-colored with hair color, meaning when they arrive to you and you apply them on your guest, the color that those extensions arrive are not colored with hair color. Okay, they're actually colored with textile dyes. Textile dyes meaning the clothing that we're wearing today, that is what the hair extensions are pre-colored with. Okay, so if you as a stylist were then to tone or color the hair in any way, we cannot guarantee those results because they're not pre-colored with hair color. Now, yes, I'm a stylist behind the chair. I'm here in my salon today in Ohio. And yes, absolutely. As a stylist, we are creative. We want to do all the fun things. We want to give our guests the exact color match that we believe is best for them. So of course, we are going to step outside of the lines and break the rules. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. If we are going to step outside of those guidelines and break the rules, what that looks like, okay, what that looks like as a stylist, what that looks like for us at Aqua, and how to make these results the best they possibly can be, okay? So with that being said, again, just like the last session, I would love to make this super interactive. So please do not hesitate, whatever platform you're watching this on, please ask questions. Please give us some comments, some feedback. I will see them live, and I would love to answer as many questions as I can for you in the next 55 minutes. So please definitely do not hesitate to enter your questions in the comment box and in the chat box on whatever platform you're watching this on. Okay, so like I said, As a stylist, we are going to be creative, absolutely. And that is what I want to discuss today. And I want us to feel comfortable leaving here, deciding if we are going to color and or tone extensions, what that looks like, what that means as a stylist you are giving up, and as a company, what we are guaranteeing and not guaranteeing, okay? So like I said, at Aqua Hair Extensions, we do not recommend to color hair. We cannot guarantee what would happen if you do color hair extensions. So as a stylist, if you choose to color or chemically alter the hair in any way, we cannot guarantee any product claims on that. Okay, so what we manufacture are 50 plus colors of hair extensions. If, as a stylist behind the chair, you alter those hair extension colors in any way, that even just means purple shampoo, right? Purple depositing, blue depositing shampoo. That could mean pink depositing shampoo, right? That could mean actually toning the hair with a deposit only hair color. That could mean chemically altering the hair with permanent color, lightening, which we never, ever, ever recommend for so many other reasons, and I'll talk about that. But anything that is color altering or chemically altering on the hair, at Aqua, we cannot guarantee that. Okay, so please, before I dive into this, I cannot stress this enough. If the hair is colored or chemically altered at all, we cannot accept any type of product claim or product warranty on the hair or any return whatsoever. Okay, so you consciously deciding to change the hair or alter the hair will avoid any warranty, will avoid any product claim, even if that is 4, 5, 6 months down the road. Once that has been altered, we cannot guarantee it. Okay, so please, I cannot stress that enough. If you decide to do it, it's unfortunately not on us at Aqua. Okay, that is my Aqua hat that I'm wearing. Now I'm going to take it off for a moment and talk to you as a hairstylist, because I get it, right? I get it. I'm a hairstylist. I totally understand the need and desire to match the hair extensions perfectly to your guest's hair, right? And sometimes that requires custom coloring them, okay? And I'll talk about the various times that may be. Sometimes that is custom coloring them before you put them in your guest's hair, right? And sometimes that requires retoning or canceling out warmth or unwanted tones in the hair 3, 4 months down the road when your guest's blondes turn a little brassy or hair color fades, things like that. So I get it. I totally get it. And I want to create a little bit less of a barrier between this and allow this to be an open conversation. Just so, yes, we know we're doing it. We know we're doing it behind the chair. So I want to be able to make it a little easier for you and hopefully transition you to have a little bit better of an experience when you do decide to tone or color. Okay. So first and foremost, if you are deciding to tone or color the extensions at all, please, please, please only use a deposit only hair color. Okay. A toner, a toning shampoo, never any permanent color, lightening, or even keratin treatments on the hair. That absolutely chemically alters the hair, and that will overprocess the hair in some fashion. So I recommend as a stylist, please only tone or deposit color on the hair. That is going to be the most gentle altering of color, okay? And then I cannot stress this enough, always do a test strand, okay? Always, always, always do a test strand. I'm gonna say it again. Always do a test strand, because our hair extensions and every extension brand on the market is only colored with textile dyes. Okay, I get the question often. What brand of hair color does Aqua Hair Extensions use to color their hair extensions? There's no brand of hair color. No extension manufacturer, no extension company out there colors hair extensions with hair color. That would be way too expensive and extremely time consuming. So instead, hair extension companies manufacture and color hair extensions with textile or clothing dye. So again, the same clothing dye that my clothes and your clothing is colored with, that is what hair extensions are colored with. So, we're back at our color bar, we're mixing up color, we're going to color our hair extensions, and we formulate as if those were colored with hair color. right? The color wheel works in our brain. That's been embedded into our brain. We want to take, let's just say we're going to take our color 60 at Aqua, which is our lightest blonde. It's not our icy blonde, but it's our lightest pale blonde. Let's say you want to make that is, I would say, a true level 10 or even maybe 11. You want to make that a neutral level 10 or neutral level 9, neutral level 9. So you're wanting to just do one level of deposit on the hair and keep it a very neutral tone. You're like, okay, let me just go ahead and put a 9N on that, right? Slap a 9N on. I know it's going to look exactly right. It's already a pale level 10. It's going to tone out to a level 9N. Wrong. It's not going to happen. Hair extensions, again, they're tricky. They're not easy to color by any means because it's not like coloring your guest's hair that has not been chemically altered already. They are pre-colored with textile dyes. They're not going to tone out how your brain has been embedded to color hair, okay? They sometimes pull extremely cool. Like you might even put a 9G, like a 9 gold on them, and they somehow turn gray, right? It happens. It happens all the time. You might try to deposit 2 levels onto the hair and get 0 levels of deposit. You're going to stay at a level 10. Sometimes you're going to color a tone or color a pre-existing shade, and it's going to pull extremely warm, right? It happens. It totally happens. So I cannot stress enough, please do a test strand. Always, always, always do a test strand. And I don't say do a whole entire weft or a whole entire piece of tape and extensions. Take a very, very small piece and test strand. And what I like to do is actually test strand 2 or 3 different formulas. So I don't just do one. That's going to waste 20 minutes of my time. I like to test strand 2, 3, maybe even 4 different formulas just to see that array of tonality and then choose the one that works best for me. It's such a small strand. You would never notice it in the hair. Once you go ahead and tone or color the whole entire head of extensions, you're going to be fine. But if you do not do a test strand, and then you tone that entire pack or full head of hair, and it does not come out how you wish to, now you're in trouble, right? Now you're in trouble because you're going to have to clarify all of that back off. In turn, clarifying all of that back off, if it does come off, now you're opening up that cuticle, altering that hair, in turn causing damage to that hair, and then recoloring the hair. So please do a test strand every single time. Okay, once you start working and coloring extensions often, you absolutely are going to know your favorite formulas. You're going to know if you pull a color number 60 from Aqua and tone it with your, let's just say, 9N or whatever that may be, you know the outcome, right? But once you start pulling different colors from Aqua, trying to tone them, it's not going to be the exact same outcome unless it's the same color and same formula every single time. Okay, so please, please, please always, always do a test strand. I get the question often too, do I color the hair before I apply it in my guest's hair or do I color it first? Now, I know that is a complete preference. I have very, very close friends that apply a full head, we'll just say hand-tied weft. They apply a full head of hand-tied weft and then they color the extensions. Okay, then they custom root and blend and melt the extensions in. That's absolute preference. Personally, I like to color the hair before I apply it. So I'm talking mostly hand-tied weft. Honestly, I do not color many other extension systems. Okay, it's very, 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 very rare I would ever color or tone tape-in extensions, keratin fusion extensions, cylinder extensions. I'm talking hand-tied weft, right? I can take tape-in extensions 4 or 5 different colors and really custom blend them in the hair. The only extensions that I find myself custom coloring are the hand-tied weft extensions because they're such a wide weft. I truly would like to custom color and custom blend those into the hair. So I like to color them before I ever apply them. I like to lay them out on foil or lay them out on a tray, root them and blend them straight in, okay? Another tip, when you're coloring or toning extensions, it's always recommended to do that on damp hair, okay? They absorb color much easier, significantly easier, coloring on damp hair, okay? So wetting the hair down, towel drying the hair, making sure the hair is combed out very, very well, laid out on a tray very evenly, okay? And then toning and coloring them. So I personally like to root 99% of my guests' hair. Okay. At Aqua, we do have rooted extensions that I absolutely love. And I usually use those tones to then, if I need to, custom color, because they're already pre-rooted for me. It's perfect. I don't have to go and do all of that work. But if you are rooting extensions and you're rooting and then melting the extensions, like a root and tone, and melting the two together, I always like to apply my root color first. I lay them out, I hold them very neatly, and I kind of work in a backwards motion, rooting up onto the weft and making sure that you are saturating the weft itself with color. Okay. I flip it over, I do the back end of it, and then I melt my toner in. The key also when you're coloring extensions is making sure that the color is fully saturated. Fully saturated. And if you think it's not saturated, or if you think it is saturated, go back and saturate again, because it is not easy, like I said, to color extensions in general, tonality wise, but it also is not easy to get a full saturation with extensions. I've made the mistake too many times thinking that they were fully saturated, and then I have holes in the hair once I blow dry, and I'm stuck going back and doing it all over again. Save yourself the trouble. Ensure that the hair color is super saturated on the hair so you get an even distribution of color once it has processed. Okay. And then another pro tip when you are coloring the hair, again, please let the hair color process. I cannot stress that enough as well. It's like pulling your toner off too soon. It's going to oxidize and you're going to think that the color is fully processed. You rinse it off, wash it off, and then before you know it, it is not processed the full way. So let the color process, let that toner process, and do not wash it off too soon. And then if you do decide to actually deposit multiple levels of hair color on the hair. So let's say you're starting at a level 10 and you ultimately are trying to get down to a level 4 or 5. Don't do it. Just save yourself the trouble. At Aqua, we recommend, we say you only are going to get 2 levels of deposit max on the hair, and that is so true. Unless you are taking a level 10, going through 3 to 4 processes on the hair of color, which at that point, order yourself a darker shade of color. It is so silly to take the time and all of that hair color to go from a level 10, fill the hair down to a level 8. Okay, process that. Then fill the hair down to a level 6, process that. Then you're going to deposit your level 5 on. So you've already did so many processes on the hair to get down to a level 5. What is the color longevity and the fade out on that 3 to 4 processes, right? Your guest wants a level 5. It's not going to hold, I can assure you. Heat, washing, styling. Before you know it, she's going to come back in to see you in 6 to 8 weeks, and she's going to be back at a level 7. Okay. If you are needing to truly deposit more than 2 levels on the hair, I just recommend to purchase a darker shade, a darker color. It'll save you so much time, and it will save you so much money in hair color, in the stress of not having a true longevity of tone and longevity of shade in your guest's hair. It's going to fade out. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see if we have any questions. Okay, so Robin had a question. Do we have textured extensions available? So at Aqua, we do. I know we call our hair extensions straight texture. However, they do have a very nice natural body wave. Okay, I would not say they're curly by any means. However, they do have a very nice, like natural beachy body wave in the hair. So they can be blown out very smooth and straight, or if they're just kind of air dried on the ends with some texturizing spray or diffused, they will have a very beautiful natural wave to them. I will say it's kind of, I know mine obviously is waved with an iron, but very similar to how some of this texture in my hair is. It will absolutely naturally dry that way. So they have a beautiful, beautiful texture if your guest has any type of natural texture in their hair. Cool. All right, so back to coloring and toning. Does anybody have any questions on coloring, on toning? Did you have a situation that you aren't sure what happened, right? Like shout it out. I would love to answer any of those questions for you. But again, I want to reiterate, if you decide to alter our extensions in any way, we cannot guarantee it. Okay, we cannot guarantee it. So this is why I wanted to jump on here in this session. We really wanted to dive deep and give you some tips on the best way to color and tone extensions. Okay, now I will say from personal experience, okay, personal experience, when I color and I tone, say when I tone my extensions, right? If I'm taking a neutral level 10, and I do want to make it down to a neutral level 9, I find that they tend to pull a little cooler toned. Okay, they tend to pull very cool toned. I find that I need to add warmth to my formula in order to have a true neutral. That's where your test strand comes in. Okay, I find that if I do want to make a level 9, if I want it to be a 9.0 or a 9N truly, I might need to tone with a 9G. Or a 9.3. I might need to add a little yellow or gold into my formula to make it come out like a true neutral tone. Because if I were to put it a neutral or a natural, I find that it pulls very cool for me. And I've used a million color lines, so it does not matter what you choose. They tend to pull a little cooler. So that is absolutely where your test strand comes in. Now, if I'm working with darker tones, that's not always the case, but with the blondes, that tends to happen. So if you have a blonde that wants a very beautiful beigey, ashy tone, that's perfect, right? You can do your test strands with more neutral formulas. And it will come out that neutral or that beigey, ashy tone, okay? Do you have extensions in now? Oh, yes. So somebody, Salon Citrine asked, do I have extensions in now? Yes, I'm wearing one row of 22-inch hand-tied weft. So I have one row of 22-inch hand-tied weft in now. And yes, mine started as color 60. I started as color 60, and I toned them just slightly to make them a little bit beigier. So I do tone them to make them a little bit of a beige, a little bit more of a beigey tone. I still like to keep them very neutral, but a little bit on the cooler side and about a half level of deposit on mine. So yes, I do. Okay. So another topic I want to discuss when it comes to coloring and toning extensions is, I get the question often, or we get people calling us at Aqua or reaching out to us saying, okay, I did not put any color on the extensions. I put them in as is. 3 months down the road, the color has changed, right? The color of the hair extensions have changed. They are not what they were when I purchased them. Okay, totally understand, right? Put yourself in a stylist position at this point. Okay, let's think back to every guest that sits in our chair and gets hair color. Okay? You color your guest hair today. What's the date? March 22nd, I think. March 22nd, March 23rd. I lost count. March 22nd, I believe. Okay, March 22nd. Your guest comes in and sits in your chair. You take her to a level 7, we'll say. Level 7 base color, 7 neutral. You have, a few highlights, maybe a dimensional level 9 highlights in her hair today. Okay, she comes back in and sees you 3 months from now, 2 months from now even. Let's just say she comes back in 8 weeks. She's coming back in to see you because her hair color faded, right? Like, think about that for a second. She's coming back in to see you because her hair color has altered. It is not the same. There is no possible way you put hair color on her hair. She wore it for 8 weeks, washed it, put heat on it, went in the sun, and her hair color is the same way. Think about that for a second. Hair extensions are going to be the same way, right? I put extensions in my hair 3 months down the road from me putting heat on them, styling them, going in the sun, washing them. Would they be the exact same color as they would be 3 months ago? No. It's not virgin hair, guys. It's not virgin hair. Our hair, we have never claimed our hair extensions are virgin hair. We would not be able to have a full coloring if that was virgin hair, right? I apologize. I did not shut my salon phone off. That's what you're hearing ringing, and I apologize. I did not even think about. Our salon's closed today, and the ringer is going. Sorry, guys. I did not expect that. So anyway, the hair color is not going to be the same. Absolutely not. You will never, ever, ever have the same exact hair color 3 months down the road, 2 months down the road, sometimes even 4 weeks, we know toner fades. It's the same thing when it comes to hair extensions. So we cannot expect to purchase and apply extensions, any brand. It does not matter what brand you're working with. Applying those extensions and 2 months go by, you do not have any type of color altering, color fading, color shifting. It's going to happen. Your blondes are going to get brassy. Blondes get warm. It's life. Every blonde guest gets warm over time. Okay? Every dark-haired client, every brunette slightly fades. It happens. No matter what, it's going to happen. Okay? So please do not be alarmed when you put in, let's say, color 18/22 duotone, right? Your highs and lows, and 3-4 months down the road, there's not quite a distinction of the highs and lows because the lows have faded slightly and the highs have turned brassy. It's going to happen. Okay, it's absolutely going to happen. So with that being said, that is the instance where in order for your guest to have a longevity and extend that longevity of her hair, maybe you decide to tone them. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the road. Maybe you decide I have not toned or colored them yet, but now in order for my guest to wear her hair even further and even longer and even stretching that longevity of her hair, you decide to tone them. Okay? Okay, absolutely. Again, that would void any warranty with us at Aqua. And please follow the tips that I'm recommending. Do a test strand. Tone them on damp hair and then determine which color is best for her and go ahead and tone them. That is going to give her, yes, maybe an extended wear with the color that matches her natural hair. Maybe you don't need to do it right away, but it needs to happen 3-4 months down the road when the extensions slightly shift in color. Okay, we know that water, well water, hard water, chlorine, salt water, that all can shift color. It's going to shift your guest's natural hair color. It absolutely is going to shift the color and tonality of her extensions. Okay, be prepared for it. Have that conversation with your guest and let her know that absolutely, if and when your color shifts and changes, not a big deal. We can tone it. It's not a problem. That is going to happen. Okay, but if you tell your guest, I'm applying these extensions in your hair, they're going to last you, 4 to 6 months. The color is never going to change. You're good to go for 4 to 6 months. 100% not true. It's not possible, guys. It's not possible. As hairstylists, we know that our guests have to come back into us to recolor their hair. It's the same thing with extensions, okay? It's not virgin hair. It's going to change. It is an artificial pigment, and it is going to change, okay? Let me dive into a few questions. Okay. Belle Versales, hopefully I said that right, asked about tips on color matching. That's a great question. I get this question often. So when you are color matching your extensions, I always recommend to color match their hair look at the hair from the occipital bone up, from the ends, mid shaft to ends down. Okay, essentially this hair is what you are looking to color match, right? All of this hair mostly, if we're doing a full head of extensions, right? If we're doing a full head of extensions, most of the hair underneath is going to be hidden by extensions. This hair over top, which typically will be much shorter than the extensions that they're applying. Now, I wear one row of extensions, and I know somebody asked where that one row is. It's right in the center, essentially right where my hat is falling, because this is my length of hair. So like this is my hair, this is my hair extension. So that's very, very close. However, your guests are gonna have short hair, right? We need to look at the mid shaft to ends of their natural hair and match that color up with their hair extensions, right? Yes, we want the root color to be very seamless and blend, but it's not nearly as important because it's going to be covered, right? It is going to be covered by other things. It is not nearly as important to color match their root color as it is to match their end color. Yes, we want it to be seamless. We don't want to apply hot blonde extensions throughout their full head and their root color to be very, very dark. That's why we have rooted extensions. But we want to look at the tonality of the top That's what's going to lay over the top of their hair extensions. Okay, so I always recommend to have a color ring. Pull out your color ring, test and color match the tones that match best. Maybe that's 1, maybe that's 2, maybe that's 3. It really just depends on how many tones they have going on into their hair, and you can custom match to their natural hair. And then you can determine, okay, if something doesn't match perfectly, do I need to tone one of my tones? Do I need to color one of my tones, right? What exactly do I need to do? And if you are going to decide to color your extensions, always choose at least one level or one shade lighter than what you are wanting, right? Or unless you're just doing a tonality shift on a level 10 blonde. If you are actually coloring, or if you're going to make, let's say, like a vivid red or something like that, always choose at least 1 to 2 levels lighter in order to get that true tone and deposit. Okay. And next question is, what developer do you normally use to tone the extensions? Hair by Hutch. So when I was talking about coloring extensions, you only want to use a deposit only hair color. Okay, deposit only. So I do not choose any developers. I choose a deposit only color. So what I'm toning with. So let's just say you did an all over blonding service. What are you going to tone her hair with? Okay, I'm going to choose whatever I am toning or depositing hair color. Nothing with any lifting power. So a deposit only color, no lifting agent, no lifting power in that hair. With having only 1 row of extensions, yes, where's your row placed? That was Greta. So thanks, Greta. She asked where my row was placed, and that is directly under my hat. Okay, so it is placed right in this midsection for me. I like that I put it directly in the center. I don't need, essentially, if I was doing a full head of extensions, I may place 1 half row in the bottom, 1 in the center, and then 1 on the very top. Mine is placed right in that center. Silver hair because I care. I love that. On Instagram asked, what purple shampoo do you recommend? Okay, so again, this is something that at Aqua we cannot recommend or guarantee what would happen if you were to apply purple shampoo on the hair. Okay, so please, if you are recommending to your guests to use a purple shampoo, or you are washing with purple shampoo, if something goes awry, and I don't just mean color, right? Let's say 3-4 months down the road, for some reason, the hair is getting very tangled or breaking. There is nothing at Aqua we can do because we can't guarantee what you're placing on the hair. That purple shampoo could contain excessive amounts of protein, and that would break the hair. Okay, so I can't recommend a specific brand of purple shampoo. I just say, please do your research, look at the ingredients. Okay, with our aftercare and our maintenance that we talked about last week, we never recommend to put any products containing protein on the hair. Okay, we process our hair very uniquely and very different at Aqua. So essentially, we pack the hair with as much protein as it possibly can hold. So we pack that hair full of protein. Any added protein on our hair extensions will over-proteinize them. Okay, and when I say over-proteinization, that leads to very dry, very brittle. The hair will absolutely start to break. I say it looks like the dog chewed on the hair, right? The hair, every time she comes in to see you, there's just less and less length, and it looks like someone just chewed on the ends. They just get very dry, brittle, and then they just start to break. And actually, I think stylists are unaware of this, and I want to make this very, very known. If hair extensions get over-proteinized, okay, they get over-proteinized. Essentially what happens is the moisture is sucked out of them. They get so excessively dry, and it actually will damage and break your guest's natural hair. Okay, what it does, think about the hair extensions getting over-proteinized. Think of them like a magnet, right? They have all the feelers out. They are just trying to suck up any moisture that they possibly can. So essentially what they're going to do is they're going to suck the moisture and drain that moisture out of your guest's natural hair. Okay, it's going to latch onto the guest's natural hair like a magnet and try to suck in the moisture, because with them being over-proteinized, they're lacking moisture. They need moisture. So they're going to latch on and draw moisture out of your guest's natural hair, in turn damaging her natural hair. So that's why we recommend to never place any protein on the hair. Okay, it will absolutely damage their extensions and damage their natural hair. Okay, so when it comes to purple shampoo, look at the ingredients, right? Do your research. Now, ingredients can be tough. You're going to have to Google a lot of ingredients and find something that is protein-free or very, very, very low protein content and use the least amount of it as possible. Purple shampoo, I never recommend for my guests to take it home. They're going to abuse it. If that's something that I feel is necessary, I want to be in control of it, and I use that for myself in the salon. And I actually do not even purple shampoo my extensions. I purple bath them. So that I use a purple shampoo that's extremely, extremely little to no protein content. And I never want to saturate my extensions with those. If anything, I will take my shampoo sink, plug it, pour purple shampoo into it with water, essentially creating like a little pool of purple water. And I'm dunking my extensions in and out of them. But before I even start dunking them, I wet them down first. So I wet them down with natural water. I'm dunking them in and out of my purple water, squeegeeing them off, purple bathing them, squeegeeing them off until I'm getting the perfect, like cooler tone that I'm looking for, canceling out that brassiness in the hair, and then washing and conditioning them. So that's the only way that I choose to use purple shampoo. And it's not even washing them with purple shampoo. It's more of like a purple bath. So allowing for the least amount of that to absorb into the hair. Do you recommend a sunscreen for blonde hair? Silver hair because I care. Yes. So the absolute best sunscreen and UV protectant that they absolutely can use on their hair is the Aqua leave-in conditioner. So it's the multi-benefits leave-in conditioner that we sell at Aqua. Okay, it's a part of our maintenance line. We have only a shampoo, conditioner, the multi-benefits leave-in conditioner, and then our Aqua hair mask. So the leave-in conditioner is a multi-purpose product. That is going to be the absolute best for them detangling their hair on damp hair. It's going to be amazing for a heat protectant. It's going to be amazing for that thermal protecting, and is going to be a UV or sun blocker from the hair. So I recommend that they use that, not even just on blondes, on any hair extensions, any color. It's great for their natural hair as well. So I recommend that my guests mist that on their hair every single morning before they brush their hair, before they go outside. And I put it on pretty thoroughly. Okay, I spray that on my dry hair very, very thoroughly. It gives me a little bit of a refresh. It allows me to refreshen and detangle my hair, and then also puts that barrier on the hair to be in the sun as the UV protectant. Okay, and then I like to spray it in my hair once again before I go to bed, just to protect my hair and add some moisture back in before I go to sleep. So those are a few tips that they can use the leave-in conditioner. So when the hair color changes, do you treat or color it? Emily from Facebook says, so when the hair color changes, do you treat or color it? Yes, so that's what I had mentioned earlier, Emily. So let's say, we're 3-4 months down the road, the hair color has got a little warm, maybe a little brassy looking, and you're needing to retone that and make it as close to its natural, or reverse it back to its state it was originally. That is when you can choose to tone. Okay, what I recommend is to wash the hair with our Aqua Prep shampoo first. So wash a few times with the prep shampoo. Try to get any excess buildup on there, because sometimes that's all that it is. Sometimes it is mineral deposit buildup, and once you prep shampoo that a few times, okay, our prep shampoo at Aqua is a pH of 7, so it's not going to excessively dry that hair out, but it is going to slightly open the cuticle a little bit to get off any mineral deposit or any excess buildup on the hair. And then after you do that, that's when you can decide to tone out any unwanted tonality changes in the hair. Okay, so that is when you can do that. I always would follow it up then with our Aqua deep conditioning mask. Okay, so anytime you are using prep shampoo on the hair, or coloring the hair, toning the hair, I would always follow that up with the Aqua hair mask. Okay, that is going to be an amazing moisture mask on the hair that's going to allow all of the moisture to be back in the hair, but not adding that protein. Okay, so it's an intense moisture mask without adding the buildup of protein. Okay. Another question from Instagram, tips on how to order hair. Yes, absolutely. So I'm not exactly sure what you mean ordering. You can order the hair a few different ways. You have to, if you're physically meaning placing the order, you can order from your local distributor. Okay, we have distributors throughout the entire country, Canada, Puerto Rico. We have a distributor in most of the territories, most of the areas throughout the entire country. And you can order, you can go on our website, okay, scroll to the bottom and find the locator on your distributor, and you can order directly through them. Or you can go to aquahairextensions.com, create a professional online account. Sorry, all of you clients watching this, you cannot order through us at Aqua. You have to be a licensed hairstylist, and we have to prove that you're a licensed hairstylist, and you can order through there. So let me know if that's the question you were asking, or if you're further into that I'm not understanding, like what to order, coloring, things like that. So let me know if that's what you mean. But yes, the two ways you can order is through your local beauty distributor or through aquahairextensions.com. You can always pick up the phone and call us and place the order over the phone. We have our phone number, our 1-800 number on our website. You can call and talk to our customer service department if that is better for you. Does a leave-in conditioner make your hair oily? Somebody from Vimeo, Beauty by Greta, no. So this is my favorite product. Anybody that knows me, anybody in my salon or any other educators or stylists, and all of my clients know that I refer to the leave-in conditioner as liquid gold. Like, to me, it is literally liquid gold. It is so lightweight, but so impactful on the extensions. I've never found anything that works nearly as incredible. So yes, today I'm freshly washed. Okay, I'm freshly washed. I washed and blew out my hair last night. However, if you know me, typically go 14, 15, maybe sometimes 16, 17 days without washing my hair. Okay, I go a very, very long time. And I spray the leave-in conditioner in my hair twice a day, every single day on dry hair religiously. Okay, I do not miss a day. I spray it every morning, every night, sometimes midday if I'm towards day 14, 15, like I really need some moisture in my hair, I might spray it midday in my hair. It's very, very lightweight. You'll never feel it in the hair. Okay, that's what I love about it. We've all used plenty of leave-in conditioners, plenty of heat protectant sprays, and they do tend to build up on their hair and they can be very heavy. Our leave-in conditioner, I almost want to change the name of it. So it doesn't, leave-in conditioner sounds heavy, right? In your brain, leave-in conditioner sounds heavy. It is not. It's a very, very light mist that can be sprayed on the hair dry, and it's absolutely not going to feel oily, and you really won't be able to feel it whatsoever, but it smells incredible. There are days that when I take my extensions out, I still spray it in my hair because I love the smell of it. It's almost like perfume for me, like perfume for my hair. So you're gonna love it. Use it as directed. Now, the bottle's not going to tell you to spray it twice a day, every single day, but I'm telling you, spray it twice a day, every single day. Your clients will have the most longevity out of their hair using that properly. I know when my clients are using the leave-in conditioner properly, they need a new bottle pretty much every move-up appointment. If they're wearing, let's say, hand-tied weft, tape-in extensions, they're going to need a new bottle every 6 to 8 weeks on average. That's when I know they're using it properly. Can I use the prep shampoo while the extensions are installed on the hair? Emily from Facebook, yes, absolutely you can. So the only thing I recommend if you are using the prep shampoo, I guess let me rewind. The only instance you would need to use the prep shampoo on the extensions is to remove any buildup on the hair, right? If you are needing to really get in and remove any buildup, any color deposit, mineral deposit, external environmental stress on the hair, you absolutely can. The only thing I'd recommend is if they are wearing a bonded system, right? If they're wearing tape-in extensions or keratin fusion extensions, keep the prep shampoo away from their bonds, okay? The prep shampoo could be a little bit abrasive on the tape itself. It's really going to clarify that tape. So if you are using prep shampoo, only use the prep shampoo on the actual hair and not on the bonds themselves. Obviously, with hand-tied weft or cylinder extensions, that will not matter. But the tape-in extensions and the keratin fusion, just stay away from the bonds themselves. Let's see, from Instagram, Syracuse for You says, does the leave-in conditioner need to stay away from the tape or beads? That is a good question, and I would say yes. Absolutely, on the tape and extensions, I would never spray the leave-in conditioner directly on the tape. That will, it does have oils and conditioning agents in that, and if it does seep down in the tape and extensions, it can remove the bonds. So I would definitely stay away from your tape and extensions, and again, the keratin fusion bonds. Now, with the hand-tied weft or the cylinder extensions, it's not going to affect it much, but there's really no point, right? There's no need to take the leave-in conditioner and spray it up at the root. We want the leave-in conditioner to be on the hair, right? Not necessarily on the bonds. We want that to soften and condition the hair itself. Feeling the need to sneeze all of a sudden. Anybody get that? Like you have to sneeze and then it like makes your nose like twitch a little bit and then it goes away. You don't need to sneeze. So, well, good. I'll keep you updated if I need to sneeze again. So another question, is the leave-in conditioner a good spray for people who get oily on the second day? That's another question from Greta on Vimeo. So yes, that would be a good spray if they get oily. I wouldn't necessarily say it's going to affect them. And also it's not absolutely going to make them more oily. And obviously it's not going to make them any less oily. But we know when our guests get oily, it's not their hair, right? It's their scalp. So I would recommend for that guest to be using a dry shampoo on their scalp, or maybe a pH balancing wash on their natural hair and their crown. So I do have a few guests that get excessively oily, like no matter what, because their pH just is not balanced in their scalp. There's something going on in their body that's causing the extreme oils to come out into their scalp. So I do have a few guests that use a pH balancing shampoo in their crown on their natural hair. It never touches the extensions. It's just in their crown and their scalp and their natural hair. And then they use Aqua shampoo and conditioner on their hair. So that helps balance maybe the pH in their scalp. And then they still spray the leave-in conditioner all over their hair, just not ever directly on their scalp. Okay. Alrighty, keep the questions coming in. I'm going to shift just slightly and give you some tips on hair cutting. And then we'll end and wrap up with a few more questions that you guys may have. I love these questions. These are such great questions. And these are questions that we get often that I'm really happy to be able to answer them and shed some light on this topic to all of you. So the last thing I want to talk about is hair cutting. Okay. This is a huge topic that I think stylists are really afraid of, and there's not a lot of education around hair cutting. I'm really excited. I actually just finally was able to be a student yesterday, and I took a hair cutting class from a local educator. I'm here in Ohio, so she's an educator in Cleveland, and she specializes in extensions as well, and she taught an extension hair cutting class, just an independent stylist by herself. I learned so much in this hair cutting class. And I mean, not that I'm ready to dive in and talk about it yet because I haven't even did it, but it really opened my eyes to extension blending and hair cutting. And yes, a lot of what she was doing, I do, but just the extra tips and techniques on that. So it really got my brain thinking. And I do think I want to talk about this more in the future. So I know we are in the works at the moment with Aqua developing some advanced classes with techniques and cutting and coloring and the whole works. So I'm really excited for this. It really got me re-inspired with hair cutting. So just some tips when you're cutting extensions, right? We always recommend to, first and foremost, please make sure you're using the right tools when you're cutting hair extensions. Okay, I like to cut extensions straight and dry. I make sure all of my guests are very smooth and dry, and I'm essentially blending their natural hair into their hair extensions, right? At that point, I'm trying to blend their natural hair in and make them look as seamless as possible. So you cannot tell where their extensions start and their natural hair ends. So if we're not using the proper tools, right? If we're not using hair cutting shears that are meant for dry hair cutting. Super important. If you're not using a very, very sharp set of hair cutting shears that are meant for dry cutting, you are essentially ripping the hair. Okay. At Aqua, we sell Remy hair, meaning the cuticle is still intact and the hair has not been removed. Okay. The cuticle is still fully intact. However, However, and I truly believe this is a lot of the challenges that arise. I'm 100% believe that a lot of challenges that your guests are experiencing with their hair, it is not the hair. It is what we as stylists are uneducated on, are completely uneducated, and that's not our fault, right? There's not a lot of education out there, but we're uneducated on the proper tools and techniques on cutting and coloring those hair extensions to have the integrity still intact. So if we are using dull hair cutting shears that are not meant for dry cutting, we are essentially ripping the hair, stripping the cuticle, cutting the cuticle off the hair. Think about it, right? If I'm slide cutting the front of my hair and I'm not using an extremely sharp pair of scissors or a dull razor, I'm slicing the hair and opening and cutting off the cuticle off the front of the hair. And within 2 months, that hair is going to be a big frizzed mess. Think about what the cuticle does to the hair. It lays the hair flat. It allows the hair to be nice and soft and silky. If you just slice that cuticle off and ripped and serrated that hair, it's not going to lay soft and smooth. It's going to get tangled. It's going to get matted. That cuticle is no longer there. Okay. So please use a very sharp pair of shears that are meant for dry cutting. Okay. And if you choose to use a razor, now this is something that I choose not to. I do not like to cut extensions with a razor, even if it's a very, very sharp blade. It's a whole different kind of metal that you're cutting with. And I personally, now that's just my own preference. There's nothing wrong with it. If you choose to cut with a razor and it works well for you, awesome. I choose not to because I find that if I'm cutting with a razor, I'm not getting the same clean cut that I'm getting with my shears. And I feel like, again, I'm kind of ripping the hair. So the hair might be great right away, but it's going to get frizzy over time because of the way that the hair and angle it has been cut with a razor. Okay. However, you still can use it. And if it's working well for you and that's something that you specialize in, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a personal preference for me. I like to use my shears. And then in addition to that, I do like to use my texturizing shears. Now, again, not all texturizing shears are created equal. Okay. You need to find texturizing shears that are not going to serrate the hair, something that's going to leave a nice rounded edge on the hair, on the end of the hair, and not cut off that cuticle on the end of the hair. Okay. We don't want to take the hair shaft and cut it at an angle and serrate the end off. That's going to cause a frizz. It's going to absolutely cause the hair to get very frizzy and very tangled on the ends. So choose your tools wisely. Reach out to me if you have any questions on that. I don't represent a specific tool brand by any means. I literally only represent Aqua Hair Extensions, and we don't sell shears and tools and things like that. But again, I know what I found that works well for me. We have a whole group of national educators, and I know they have found tools that work very well for them. So do your research, reach out to someone, ask what they like to use and what works best. Now that might not be what works best for you. However, if you're noticing your hair extensions, your shears are not just like butter cutting the hair and they're pulling and tugging on the hair. That's not only just tugging on the hair, it's actually damaging the hair. Okay. And then in addition to cutting, I can't stress this enough. We don't ever recommend to cut blunt lines in the hair. Okay. If you're going to cut a blunt line in the hair, that blunt line will be there forever until it's removed, till it's completely cut out. Okay. I say this in every single class. When you're cutting, we recommend to slide cut, point cut. Okay. Blend the hair very natural. If I'm making a blunt line in the hair, 6 to 8 weeks, I remove that full head of extensions. I put them back in. No matter what, that blunt straight line is not going to be even. I'm going to have to cut another blunt line into the hair and then another blunt line into the hair. Before you know it, she's going to lose inches on her hair, right? We recommend to always keep the hair very soft and natural. So slide cutting, point cutting, okay? Holding the hair, and my shears here, holding the hair and slide cutting down to allow very soft movement, okay? Point cutting, oh my gosh, I apologize, my phone's ringing again. Point cutting the ends just to keep a nice soft edge. And you can do that with your texturizing shears or your hair cutting shears, whichever works best for you. So I know hair cutting, that is a whole separate beast, and I would love, and we are definitely discussing advanced classes on hair cutting, and we're hoping to launch some advanced classes on hair cutting, because I think stylists, we really struggle with hair cutting. We truly do. However, just think of when you're cutting your extensions, you're just blending. You are blending the guest's natural hair into their hair extensions, and how can we make that as soft and natural as possible? So a lot of slide cutting your guest's natural or your guest extensions to create some layers and create some movement and density in the hair. Okay. A few more questions before we wrap up. So Syracuse Hair for You on Instagram says, what system is best for an oily scalp? It's a great question. So the systems that I recommend that are best for an oily scalp are the two systems that we offer that do not have any adhesives or chemical bonds whatsoever. Okay, so those would be anything that's applied with a bead, because what is not going to be affected in that system would be any oils, any water, anything like that is not going to affect those. So that would be the hand-tied weft system or our cylinder system. Okay, those would be the best for an extremely oily scalp. Let's say your guest was wearing tape-in extensions, right? That adhesive bond can absolutely be broken down by excessive oils on the scalp. Okay, the same thing with keratin fusion extensions. The keratin bond can be broken down over time by excessive oils in the scalp. So if you do have a guest that truly has an oily scalp, and I mean like absolutely excessive oils, I would steer them mostly towards something with a bead, and that would be our cylinder extensions and the hand-tied weft system. Cool. Any last questions before we wrap up? How was this today? Was this eye-opening? Was this something that was beneficial to you? We would love to hear your feedback on this. I know that moving forward, we have another 5-6 sessions with the World of Aqua series and lots of topics to discuss. But if there's anything following up this, we'd love to hear it. So please give us your feedback. Let us know what you think. Anything that has worked well for you, we'd love to know. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any additional questions. And again, I want to wrap up with this, okay? At Aqua Hair Extensions, again, we cannot guarantee nor recommend any coloring or chemical altering of the hair extensions, okay? If you choose to do that, it voids any warranty on the hair. So if they're color altered or chemically altered in any way, there's no product claim that can happen on the hair. So you cannot send them back to us and say the hair was defective by any means. It was defective. It could have been defective because you altered the hair. We cannot guarantee what happens to that, okay? However, if you understand that as a stylist and that's perfectly fine to you, I get it. I'm a stylist. I custom color hair extensions all the time. I totally do. But I truly know and believe that responsibility is solely on me, okay? If I have any challenges with the hair extensions because I chemically or color altered them, I'm responsible for that, okay? I cannot call Aqua and say, I colored my hair extensions. They did not turn out how I would like. I need you to fix it. That's my fault. That is completely my own fault, okay? And then in addition to that, if 3-4 months down the road something happens, that's on me. I unfortunately chemically or color altered that hair. Aqua Hair Extensions cannot stand behind their product if it was chemically altered in any way. Okay, but again, I get it. I'm a stylist. We do it. We want to make our guests happy, and sometimes that means we color the hair. Okay, so I hope these tips helped. If you want to go back and watch the replay of this, you can find the replay. We will be posting it this week in the World of Aqua Facebook group. Okay, the World of Aqua Facebook group. If you're not in our Facebook group, it is World of Aqua 2021. Okay, join our Facebook group. We have all of our previous replays in there, as well as any new or next sessions that we will be having. Our next session is April 5th. Okay, please tune in. That is session number 5, I believe, session number 5. Monday, April 5th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. please tune in with us. We will keep this live on our Instagram page and our IGTV, so you have a few different ways to watch the replay. And please don't hesitate to reach out if you guys have any questions or any topics that you want us to go live and discuss. So we love to hear feedback. We love all of you, and I will see you April 5th. Bye, guys.